Hello, and welcome to another episode of Wheel of Horror, the podcast where two best friends spin a wheel once a week. It chooses the horror film and they discuss it. Today, we are talking 2019's Pilgrim, which was directed by Marcus Dunstan. I'm your co host, Alec, and happy Thanksgiving, Eric.
I'm Eric, and happy Thanksgiving, Alec, and everyone else listening.
Yeah, this is our bonus Thanksgiving episode. So we're covering a movie we didn't even talk about. It's not on the wheel. It's a big surprise to everybody. And I'm coming to you live from Scroll No More Studios. One more time, Scroll No More. So you can check it out. We got this nice new background here. So that's
Please, if
fun.
you care about us, hit a like button, hit a subscribe button. For the love of God, it's Thanksgiving. Please be
Yeah,
thankful.
we could use the help right now. So, anyways, thank you all. Yeah, follow us on TikTok, Instagram, all that good stuff. Scroll No More Studios and Wheel of Horror. We're everywhere. All right, jumping into today's episode. So, yeah, I've been thinking about it. We've covered four Thanksgiving movies since we started the podcast. I think there was one year. There's
Yeah,
one
we
year that
definitely
we
did.
missed. We've covered Thanksgiving, Thanksgiving 3, Thanksgiving,
Oscar worthy. Thanksgiving, yes, that's three.
Thanksgiving, and then this is our fourth one, Pilgrim. I think sniffing a bag of dog shit would be better than saying Thanksgiving. So I
hmm
think this is always going to be better than that.
This is better than Thanksgiving. However, any prepubescent teen needs to watch Thanksgiving in their lifetime, the first one. I mean, the second or was it the third? It goes from one to three,
Yeah,
right?
there's no two.
Yeah, dude, it's rough, but uh
Yeah,
college made film, right? Like,
yeah. The first one's better than the third one, which is
yeah.
ironic because the third one had a budget and the first one didn't. But no, but I thought this was actually a pretty good movie, Pilgrim. I enjoyed it, but
hmm
I still think the best horror Thanksgiving movie is still Thanksgiving by Eli Roth, the one from like
I
2000.
actually really enjoyed that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. I enjoyed that
That's
more than this. I'll say that right now. Yeah.
yeah, that movie, if you haven't seen Eli Roth's Thanksgiving, that's like a real return to form for like slasher
Yeah.
movies. It wasn't over the top, it wasn't like fan servicey. It was just like a good, fun slasher.
It was
So
good. It was
yeah,
good. And it really captured the holiday too with the parade scene. And
yeah.
yeah, that movie was great. But we're not talking about that movie. We're talking
No.
about Pilgrim,
Yeah.
which explain this to me and our viewers or listeners. This is a series. It's part of a series that does holiday films, correct? Into the, what is it?
Yes. So I had no idea about this. So
Yeah.
Hulu, what they were doing for a little while was something I think it's called Into the Dark or Into
Yeah,
Dark.
Into Darkness, Into Dark.
Yeah, and that is a television series actually, and each of these episodes is its own like TV movie essentially, and they're all holiday themed. So there's a Christmas one, a
Ooh.
Halloween one, a Thanksgiving one, all different
Is there an
ones.
Arbor Day one?
There genuinely might be, I don't know, because there's been multiple seasons of this. So like each season has its own holiday, variety, but I had no idea. I thought this movie was in theaters. I did not know this was a Hulu show. I didn't know it was a TV movie, any of that stuff.
I was reading up, and this is probably one of the better ones out of the series from what I was reading. One, two, the series was doing relatively well, but the pandemic happened, and the series just shut it down. You know?
Well, a couple years ago on Fresh Film Fridays was another thing we were doing. I did cover one of these already. It's called Tentacles, and that was actually pretty
Hmm.
good too. I liked that one too. So like these do feel cheaper. They don't feel like a full movie. So you can see kind of like they're like indie meets like TV movie kind of feel, but they're all on Hulu.
Okay.
And usually not a big star. There is one guy in this that I recognize. I'm sure you did too. The dad that's
Yeah, yeah.
from Final Destination, Kerr Smith. But otherwise, yeah, these are not like they were never in theaters. Dude, this doesn't even have a Wikipedia, this movie. I was really
I had to
surprised.
really look it up for stats and stuff, which I'll go through the stats real quick. Hold on, stay with me, stay with me, stay with me, stay with me. This came out November 1st, 2019. It's part of the Into the Dark series, like we just mentioned. Its runtime is an hour and a half exactly. Budget, I have no idea. And like I mentioned, the series was all shut down when the pandemic
Yeah.
happened. Its Rotten Critics score is 83 though. I did see that, which I was like, that's high. But no Rotten Audience score. But those are the stats for this film.
It's getting slim pickings for Thanksgiving movies. There are a few other ones that we'll continue to cover in the years to come, but this one is a newer one and it's very Thanksgiving-y. So there's
Yeah,
no ambiguous like, oh, is this a little Thanksgiving? No, this is a Thanksgiving movie. Um,
correct.
and yeah, it's not great, but it's pretty damn original. I can't think of any other movie like this really in any genre or any,
I mean, honestly, the only thing it reminded me of was the South Park episode where they go to like a old-timey village and that these people don't break character. That was the only thing it reminded me of.
sort of, but that's the thing. Like, you have to suspend your disbelief for this movie, for the plot, for it to make any sense. Because, like, who would do this? Who would
That
invite
and the
this?
ending was such an eye roll, but it was like, okay, I'm happy about the ride I was just on.
If you can just suspend your disbelief for the situation they're in, then the movie's okay. But if you're sitting there the whole time, you'd be like, I would never let these people in my house. This would never happen because
Nothing
I'd
makes
never,
sense.
yeah.
Nothing
So
makes sense.
you
Yeah.
just kind of need to be like, well, listen, they're already in the house. You're not these people, but otherwise, it's a good movie. It's a fun ride. Um, it gets pretty intense towards the end, to a degree, but this probably would have been better as a short film. It does drag a little
I mean,
bit.
it could have been like a 40-minute thing.
Yeah, it drags a little bit. There's some characters that are just like completely useless, but they just needed to add kills. Like,
Hmm.
yeah, and we'll work through the plot pretty quickly because it's pretty straightforward for what it is. But I thought the performances were really good. The acting was really good for what this was. I think the director made a lot of stylistic choices that were interesting, not like
Hmm.
great, but a lot of just like the split frame. Like you see the mom in one frame, the daughter in one frame. So like they did some interesting shots, a lot of fisheye lens kind of shots. So like it had that going for it.
I think the main like what I took away from this is whoever the main bad guy was, I think his name was Ethan,
Yeah.
that actor, he needed to be totally on point, and I thought he was. If he was even a little bit of a worse actor, and he was good.
Yeah.
I thought that was a great like performance for this role. If you got someone that was a dud, it would have been way more of a dumpster pile. But he really owned that character. He
Mm.
really felt like a pilgrim, not breaking character. He was very like spiritual about it and everything.
Yeah. He and his girlfriend or whatever, or his wife, whoever it is supposed to be, they were the two antagonists. And I
What
thought
was
they
it, Patience or Pristine or
I
something?
think
I think
it's
it was Patience.
patience.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they did a great job. Also, I just for 1 second in the beginning, I was like, is that fucking Chris Jericho? I was like, dude, right? Doesn't it? It kind of looks like Chris Jericho a little bit.
Break the walls down.
Dude, the whole time I was like, okay, and then not. But then the other thing I took away from him is I would do anything to have that hair at his age. That guy
Oh,
had like
oh my God, I'm losing my hair so fast. But
he
his hair is good,
dude,
good
he
hair.
had like the best hair I've ever seen like a 50-year-old man have in my life. But anyways,
Agreed. Yeah, we'll
so
give it that.
his accent was really good too. Like
Fix my fucking hair.
it didn't feel
Sorry.
British, but it felt like
What? They're pilgrims. They're pilgrims.
yeah, but still the way that he made it sound like in character, he's like we were on the Mayflower. So he should have a British accent,
Totally.
but it's almost like that. It's like the Thackeray Binks accent. It's like that Salem like 1600s American
Yeah,
accent.
that's
Yeah.
a colonial accent.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's what he was portraying. Very
Yeah.
religious, very like,
Uh,
oh, God's be good. I don't know, that's Irish. I don't know what I'm doing. But
well, it is
like,
kind of like a very like muted British, Irish, Scottish accent, basically.
yeah.
But yeah, so I thought his accent was really good. The character's good, but yeah, just a kind of brief overview of the film. So basically, there's a family. It's a father and daughter. I'm sorry, yeah, father, daughter, his new wife, and then their kid together. So there's four people. It's a father, son, mother, daughter.
Hmm.
And they're not getting along. It's like they're all kind of snipping with each other and stuff like that. So the mother has an idea. She's like, we should start new traditions and all this stuff because the daughter's mother took off. She left the family. The
Yep.
father remarried, so this is her stepmother, and she's like, we're gonna start doing new traditions. We're gonna like make this a nice fun holiday for everybody.
It's a
So
great
she
idea. Great
it
idea.
is. It is. Especially if your mother takes off and you're like, well, let's try and start a new thing here. So her idea is insane, but her idea is, hey, we're going to hire some pilgrim reenactors and they're going to come live with us and
I
they're going to
mean,
help us
you
learn what it's like to be a pilgrim basically for Thanksgiving.
I can't agree more. And that's why it's so ridiculous. Hey, we're gonna start new traditions like doing a puzzle. Like start there.
Yeah.
Like instead we're gonna go balls to the wall and invite an entire like pilgrim community in of reenactors. And to me, like it's insane, but you just gotta roll with it. Alec, like you said,
Yeah.
you just have to roll with
You,
this
you
movie.
just you have to suspend your disbelief for that because most people would be like, okay, maybe like an hour and a half or 2 hours. Or these people come and they do like, the turkey hand thing. Sure.
If this was real, you know what the girl would do? I'm gonna go to Lauren's house. Like, I don't want to be here. And she'd just
Yeah.
leave. There's no way she'd be like, I'm gonna subject myself to this. Like, this sounds like a great. No one, I wouldn't, you wouldn't, would ever be like, you know what, mom? I'm gonna stay here.
It's crazy. So yeah, so like the family's not getting along, and they're like, hey, if we do this, like it'll make us grateful and thankful for all this crap that we have and stuff like that. So then they have a big like HOA party in their community. So all these people come over, and the pilgrims show up early. They're supposed to show up that night or whatever, but they show
Did
up
did the
during the
did the
party.
wishbone scene happen yet?
Oh yeah,
No.
yeah,
That's a
yeah,
big that's the point of the movie right there. So
yeah.
it's very Home Alone vibes. Clearly the girl whose mom left is not happy with her family. And she pretty much we don't know this till the end, but they went to break a wishbone and she won the wishbone, which I always win against my sister. Sorry, Shannon. But you break the wishbone and you get to make a wish and your wish comes true because you broke the wishbone. What she kind of wishes, and I wish they kind of did, was say, like, I wish my family disappeared, pretty much, is like what her wish was, I guess. What
Yeah.
was her wish?
No, I
Like,
wish was like I hope this all like goes to shit. Like I hope that this plan falls apart and like
yeah, but like pretty much like Home Alone, like I don't want you here or something like that. That happens, and then we get this whole thing that happens afterwards with the pilgrims arriving. But the wishbone is what sets it off, technically,
yeah, that's
right?
so yeah, it is, and it's so dumb because it's just a random wishbone, and it's like, oh, this is like the liar liar thing, like it's like you blow out
That's
a
another
candle.
that's another great example. Yes,
Well, yeah,
yes.
but it's just why this wishbone, why this? But anyway, so yeah, so they break the sister and brother break the wishbone, and the sister wishes for this whole plan to go to hell, and
Have you ever
it
broken a
goes.
wishbone?
Me, I don't
You're a
eat meat.
vegetarian. You're a
Yeah,
vegetarian,
I
so you
don't.
wouldn't partake in that.
I don't think
But
so.
yeah, so you know how it works, right? There's you
Yeah, you
pull the
take that
wishbone.
little Jack Russell Terrier named Wishbone and you snap it in half, and whoever gets the bigger part of his dead body, they get to make a wish, right?
I need to write that down. I need
Yeah,
to see a short comic of someone like ripping wishbone.
yeah,
No, but like it's a bone that looks like a kind of like a
yeah.
horseshoe. You pull it, whoever gets the bigger half gets the
Yeah,
wish.
I saw the movie. Like, I
But
know
have you
what
ever?
it is.
When I was younger, I really cut my hand really bad doing a wishbone because it was not. You're supposed to dry it out first. You can't just take it out of the turkey and do it. It's not going to break. You have to dry it out the night, like leave it overnight. I was doing it and I just it slipped and I cut my hand really badly. But yeah,
Yeah,
that's my wishbone story. I don't know.
it's gross. Yeah, bones, yuck.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, so that wish kicks the whole thing off, and these pilgrims they show up. So they show up earlier than they're supposed to. And here's another thing that I was like, this is just to pad the runtime. Like it's so
Hmm.
fucking crazy. But there's two pilgrims that show up, and Ethan and his wife Patience or whatever. I think her name is Patience. And
I think
Ethan's
so.
like, I'm gonna stay with this family, and Patience is gonna go with someone else's family who didn't sign up for this. So you're
Right.
like, so they're like, oh, we have this lady, Catherine. She needs help around the house. Like maybe you can go stay with her. And Catherine's like, okay, that sounds good. And then this lady who didn't sign up for any of this or find this on anywhere, now she's got the stranger living in her house, like talking about churning butter and stuff. And you're like, why
Yeah,
would you ever agree to that? That's crazy. Like,
yeah.
imagine you go to a party and then some reenactment shows up and it's like, oh, like, do you want them to come live with you for like a couple days now? Like, I'd be like,
Hell to the F no,
yeah,
man.
what are you
Hell to
talking
the
about?
F
We don't
no.
know these people. Um, so yeah, so that's really stupid. So this the patience is like, I'm gonna go stay with this other woman and her son, and the son is dating the main daughter of the movie.
Right.
Cody, I think is her name. So they're all everything's intertwined basically. But the pilgrims split up. There's the two pilgrims. They're off. They're weird, but like they're not like too weird at first. They're just kind of like really committed to the bit, but they're not like showing any signs of
I
life.
think when he steps on the crow's head is when it's like, dude, you need to like break your character.
Well, yeah. So everything leading up to that moment, though, is pretty tame. Like they're not
Yeah,
doing anything
totally.
that's like too crazy. But yeah, once he kills the crow, that's like okay, all right. Now we see he's pretty intense. Um, but yeah, so I don't know. I felt like this part, the first like 40 minutes, kind of dragged a little bit. Where
Totally,
it's
totally. And there's some things that could be taken out of it. Um,
you don't even need the second family. Like you don't even need any of that
true,
stuff
true there.
because
And then
they
there
just
was
die. Like there's no point to that, and it's like she's dating the son, so I guess there's a connection. But let me just say this really quick too. Have you ever seen the movie House Party?
yeah, with
Kid and Play with the
Key and
long
Play, yeah,
hair,
with the
dude.
dance.
I swear to God, I thought the boyfriend was, I think, Kid from Kid and Play. I was like, that's got to be his son. That has got to be his
Is
son.
Kid the one with the like?
The long hair. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, that actor, I can't remember his
You're
name.
right.
That actor looks like a clone of the son from this
Kid.
movie. I
Yeah.
was like, wow. And I looked at him, they're not related. I'm like, I would bet my life that's that guy's
Someone
son.
needs to do a DNA test then, I
Dude,
think.
same everything. But, anyways, that guy dies. Totally useless character. He gets killed too. Yeah. So, I'm trying to think of like the weird little things that happen, but
I
it's,
mean, the berries was like a big plot point, with the
yeah.
green stems. I think
They're
that comes
called
to mind.
Jerusalem berries. And what happens is Ethan goes out and he's collecting berries in the local, environment because
They're
he
trying
wants
to
to make
do
a
pilgrim
pie.
things. Yeah.
Yeah, and cranberry sauce and whatever. And that is a huge thing at the end. Yeah, we'll get to that. But the Jerusalem berries, that's big. And the whole point of this movie basically is Ethan and the other pilgrims, it's like Jigsaw in a way, where it's like he finds a family that isn't grateful for what they have and
Yes.
tries to get them to realize how lucky they actually are, um, by killing them, basically. Like he doesn't like Saw, at least you get a chance to get out of it. This
Well, it's
one's
like,
like,
yeah, Saw's more like you're a bad person, and I'm gonna show you. Yeah, and this is more like you need to be thankful for being alive, more or less.
yeah, but he didn't really give people chances to escape. It's all up to him. Like he could have just
Right.
drowned Cody in that one scene, or like they just killed the father because like, yeah, okay, fuck him, kill him. So they don't really give you a lot of chances to repent. But to that point, which is I didn't know this until after the movie was done, the writer of this movie wrote like six of the Saw movies.
True. Yeah, I saw
So
that. I saw that too. I think like three, four, and five, right? Like middle
something.
ground.
Yeah,
Middle ground is
so
Saw.
this feels like a Saw, sort of, but not nearly as intense, and it doesn't feel as like the rules of Saw
Gory.
are
It's not
very
as gory either.
not
Not
that
even
like
close.
not the gore, but the rules of Saw are much more defined. Where it's like, okay, you did something wrong, you don't
Yeah.
value your situation. We're going to give you the chance to escape. This movie, it literally was just like, you don't feel like you deserve what you have. Maybe I'll kill you, maybe I won't. I don't know. We'll see. We'll
Yeah, it
see.
was kind of ambiguous, no doubt.
Yeah.
Very loose with the rules, I guess, of these
Yeah.
people. But I think it comes back to the wishbone more.
Yeah, but they also try to paint the picture of Ethan came from a family. His mother died in childbirth. His father was abusive to him and all this stuff. And he's like a mess because of that. So
Right.
clearly, these aren't real pilgrims, like clearly. So they are just people that are basically in a cult. I mean, that's what this is. Ethan's a cult leader and everybody follows him. And he's probably under the guise of like, it was better before technology. It was better before, we just took from the land and we appreciated what we had. And like, I really did like the scene of him and the son, Tate, I think was his name, with the candy. I thought that scene was great.
Yeah, that was cool. That
I
was
really
cool.
like that because it just like it did impose like a realistic wisdom that these people probably would have, where he gives Tate a candy for getting something right, and then Tate eats it, and he's like, "Can I have another one?" He's just like, "You need to learn to appreciate what you have," sort of thing. And he's like, "And you can't want things, if you appreciate what you have, you won't want them as much in the future," sort of thing. So and then he even says he looks up to God and he's like, "See, I didn't have to take everything from this one for him to become grateful," like sort of thing. And it's like, oh, okay. Um,
Yeah, it was dark. But yeah, it makes you think like we have it so easy. Like if you want to look up something, you don't have to go to the library. You don't have to, we can just Google like, hey, who sings the Obsession song? Oh, that's the 80s
And
song.
emotion. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you get that stuck in your head, man. You got to look it up and see who sings it, you know?
Yeah, I mean, these guys, they were making it seem like picking berries is a part of the meal. And they were even saying, like, we're preparing Thanksgiving dinner. You should be happy, sort of thing. So, like, the things that piss us
Yeah.
off, like, oh, I got to cook, oh, I got to do dishes, like, they look at it like this is an opportunity for us to be part of this community. And
You can pick up Thanksgiving dinner at Boston Market?
yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah,
they make it seem like God, like we used to have to spend hours churning butter to get like a little bit of butter.
yeah, yeah. So
Like
they
so
make you grateful for what you have. And it is the truth of Thanksgiving is like you should be thankful for what you have, you know?
yeah.
Not think I want this and they have this. Why don't I have that? Like that's not the meaning of Thanksgiving, but that's the meaning of America today. So it's yeah, anyways. But I really thought the scene we're jumping a little bit ahead, but the scene at the end when Cody like is genuine and she's just like you're right, like I took for granted what we had and I didn't give you my stepmother the time of day. All you did was try to love me and I rejected that and I was wrong. And like that seemed like a real mature like
Yeah.
I have not been appreciative of what I have.
Oh, do
So
you know the story of Thanksgiving?
I mean I guess the one we were told, I don't know the real one, you know.
Who knows? But
Yeah,
yeah, it
yeah,
was the
sure,
Mayflower comes to Plymouth Rock.
yeah.
They settle, half of them die. They don't know how to harvest, they don't know how to do anything, and luckily they stumbled upon some indigenous people, and one of them kind of spoke English. And
How?
t I think in one of the other wars of some kind, or he traveled to France. I forgot the true story, but there was a indigenous person that spoke English, and he's really the reason that we're here. And brought the chief over. They taught them how to harvest, and then once they had the harvest, they brought the indigenous people back and had Thanksgiving with them and thanked them for saving them. And then American history, we slaughtered them all and took their land. I mean, pretty much afterwards. But yeah, Thanksgiving. Yeah. And
I
that's why we eat turkey on Thanksgiving, really. You don't. You're a vegetarian, but
and doesn't
that's the
seem like
story.
my favorite thing is like doesn't seem like anybody actually likes turkey. Like nobody actually likes it. They just kind of put up with it. So it's kind of interesting. Nobody eats
Turkey's
turkey.
good. Turkey's
Yeah,
good.
but most people are like, it's not my favorite part. Like everybody's favorite part of Thanksgiving is not the turkey, it
To
seems
be
like.
honest, chicken's better than turkey, but turkey's more protein and healthier for you. And
Yeah.
I don't
Um, well, I'll put you this way. I don't believe anything about that story. I think
know.
no,
That's
because
fair.
realistically, most Native Americans didn't die from war or they died from disease being spread by the Europeans unintentionally. So
Hmm.
Europeans, they were living, you know, with rats in cities. So they built up an immune system to these diseases. The second they got to America, the second they interacted with these people, those germs went onto them and it
Yep.
just spread like wildfire. So
Yeah.
I don't believe that these pilgrims just came across and there was happened to be a native guy that happened to speak English who happened to be like, you know what? They seem like good people. Let's help them. And then they didn't, none of them got sick. I don't believe any of it. I think it's a whitewash version to make us
No
all feel
doubt. No
better.
doubt. Yeah, and it's already evolved so much over the years from what we were taught in elementary school to now. It's just like, wow.
Dude,
I do watch the Charlie Brown Thanksgiving, and that's pretty much my way. That's how it was written. That's how the textbook worked.
I think when we were young, it was very much just like the Native Americans and the Pilgrims were holding hands and everyone was singing and it was all happy and everybody was happy. I'm like, so what the fuck happened after that?
A
They
lot of
all,
bad shit. A
yeah.
lot of bad shit.
So I'm just like, I don't know. I think the idea of Thanksgiving on its value, on its face, is great. Like, be thankful for what you have. Don't want things you don't need, and just be like, thank whoever, thank God, thank my family, thank whoever. We're all here.
Yes, and then the next day go shopping.
That's so dumb too. I hate that too.
Right? Like what? It makes you
It's
really think
it's
about the world.
capitalism and consumerism and bullshit. But let's talk about the movie. Let's see.
It's America. Yeah.
But I think the movie touches upon these things to a degree. Like, you
It
know,
does. It
yeah.
does. It tries to hit upon being thankful and being simple, I think is the word. Like simple in some ways.
Yeah. I
That makes
mean,
sense.
we're too distracted. We're too busy with stuff that doesn't matter. We care about things that don't matter. And it's just So yeah, I don't think these are like bad people until they start killing people. Then it gets bad.
Yeah,
But otherwise, like they're like the Amish essentially. Like,
pretty
you
much.
know, so yeah, so let's get into when shit goes bad. So slowly they start bringing more pilgrims to the
Hmm.
house and they're building stuff in the backyard, they're building a shed, they're doing all this weird stuff. The younger brother really likes them. He thinks they're cool. The dad is so busy with his job, he's just not paying attention or to
Right.
anything. And then the mom I think is just trying so hard to get the family together. She's overlooking things. And then the daughter's the only one that's like, fuck this. This is weird and I don't like
Yeah.
it. Um,
Which is every person there would be like, this is weird.
right, realistically. So the first real bad thing that happens is at the other person's house, that patient's woman, she murders that Catherine lady. And we don't see how she does it, but she sees churning butter and it's just blood. So she I think she like cut off part of her head or something. And then she's like
Yeah.
churning that. And then her son, the main girl's boyfriend, walks in, is like, Mom, and then he just gets killed.
Yeah. Something
So
something about churning butter though just turns me on. I don't know. Even old ladies churning butter. I don't know what it is.
all right,
Is that weird to say?
it's probably just hand jobs, but yeah.
Yeah, maybe it's
It looks
that.
like they're jerking something off. Yeah.
Oh,
Um, yeah, that's definitely it.
maybe.
But then, so that's the first like death of the movie, and you're just kind of like, okay, sure. I mean, I don't really care about these characters, but whatever. And then Patience buries their bodies or hides the bodies in the house, goes over to the main people's house, and she's like, I don't know what happened to them. They just took off. They ran away. They went on a bender. She used to be an alcoholic. That's what happened. And now all of the pilgrims are at the main people's house, and they're like, okay.
Right.
Um, and basically the main pilgrim, oh, they take away their phones too. He's like, for Thanksgiving you can't use electricity and you can't use phones, so they take away their electronics, they shut off the lights and all that stuff, and that makes it so they can't call the cops.
Hmm.
Cody starts freaking out, the lead girl. She's like, I'm gonna go find my boyfriend, fuck this. And then Tate is hiding because he loves to play hide and seek, so he's playing hide and seek the whole time. And then the mother and father are like, all right, like, what's going on here? So that they're like starting to be like aware that something weird is going on. And at that point, the pilgrims are like, gotcha. And they snag the mom and dad, tie them up, and they just
Hmm.
are like whipping them and branding them and doing all these things to punish them essentially. Um,
What
and
about the poison part? The poison berries. Didn't that come
that's
into play?
later. That's
Oh,
later.
it's later. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So they're whipping the mom and dad. And the dad, they kill him. They kill the dad. They cut his head off. And then the Cody, the main girl, she comes back and she gets captured too. So at this point, you're like, there's no other characters in the movie. It's not like somebody's coming to save them. So you're like, well, we got to deal with what's happening. So Cody and the mom are tied up. Tate is hiding and the dad's dead. So at this point, they're like, you're going to help us prepare the feast. So now Cody is making the berries. Oh shit. And that is when she takes the berries and she makes the poison at
Right,
that
right,
point.
right. Yep. I knew that was coming. Yep.
Yeah. So they're making the things that the pilgrims are going crazy. They're just like, you're not thankful for anything. Like, you're pieces of shit. And they're like, we are pieces of shit. We're sorry. And they're making the food and everything like that. And it gets kind of crazy here. Basically,
I mean,
this,
that's where I think I blacked out. I don't know. I don't really remember. I remember the poison scene with the
yeah.
tea.
So
And
here's
then
something.
it cuts to I just remember going to the dinner next, pretty
Well,
much.
that is this. This is the dinner. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
they're making the dinner and they're having Cody and the mother helping them make dinner. And that's when she takes some of the poison berries and puts it into like the cranberry sauce and mixes it up so that they're all going to eat
Yes.
it. But the one thing that I like and didn't like at the same time, she takes like one of the carving things or whatever, like the thing to hold the turkey in place, and she stabs Patience in the head
Her hand through her
through
head,
her head,
right?
which I was like, that would probably kill you. Like, your
Yeah.
brain would start bleeding. Like, like I don't know, but she somehow
It
survives
was like an ice pick, and she just
something.
hits her with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But before that, weren't they shucking corn?
Yeah. During this whole scene, they're shucking corn, they're making the cranberry sauce. All
I had a favorite line. What was it? You best get to shucking.
yeah, that
I
was
love
good.
that line. You
Yeah,
best get to shucking.
that was a good
Like the way
line.
he delivered that was so like Pilgrim bad guy. I like that.
Yeah, yeah,
So
that was a good line. That was a great one.
if I ever
And
see my wife doing corn, I'm saying that. You best get back to shucking. Shucking's a fun word. We should use shucking more.
Yeah, you only shuck corn. But yeah, so this whole scene is crazy. They're shucking corn. They stab patients in the head. Cody gets away. She finds Tate. She's like, "Stay hidden. I'm gonna go sacrifice myself, I guess." Um, and at this point, the pilgrims have eaten the food that they've made, and they're like, "All right, we're gonna torture Cody now." So they put her in a chair. They put her body over the pool, and they just keep dropping her and making her be like, "Yeah, you better repent. You better
What
repent."
was that? Was it like a handicap kind of
They
chair?
built it. They made it. So
So they
you,
made like a witch device, like drown the witch, right?
I guess, yeah. So it's something that you can drop people into something and then take them out, you know.
Well,
So
that's
they're,
witchcraft stuff. They used to just be. I think the pilgrims were bored back in the day, and they're like, witchcraft, like burn her at the stake.
yeah.
She made a
So
paper airplane, like burn her. Like, we got nothing else going on. I think literally, I always thought like witchcraft came from boredom, like the witch trials and stuff. Like, I got nothing else going on in this town.
I hope that's not the case, but it's possible. I don't know.
I think it was
I mean,
boredom.
that's crazy, but yeah. So yeah, so they start dropping Cody in the water. They make her beg for her life. She's like, "I fucking beg. I'm sorry. I know I suck or whatever." And then right after that, she does survive.
Mhm.
They bring the father out. They're like, "All right, now for the main course," and
His
they bring
head
the
on a
food out.
platter. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just his head on a platter. They're so like, "Oh my god!" And they're crying and all this
That
stuff.
was probably one of the better scenes in the movie with the feast and like the
Yeah,
intestines coming out of the food and stuff.
yeah, it's
Probably
disgusting. Um,
we're at the climax of the movie now.
Yeah, and then basically what starts to happen is they all start coughing up blood, all of the pilgrims,
Eh?
because Cody put the Jerusalem berries in the cranberry sauce, so they're all just coughing up blood and all this stuff. And Patience is going chasing after Tate. She starts coughing up blood, and everybody dies except for Ethan. And Ethan, like, which I don't even think Ethan could survive at this point. If you're already coughing up blood, you can't make yourself throw up the poison, but that
I don't.
works.
I mean, I don't know if poison works, but that's not how it works either for berries in my mind.
I
Like
don't
nothing,
know.
nothing makes sense. But yeah,
Yeah, so you'd think that they like swallowed glass. What's happening because blood is just like
yeah,
projectile
yeah.
vomiting. But so at this point, all the pilgrims are dead. The father's dead. It's just Cody, Tate, and the mom. And you see Ethan like crawling away basically because he's throwing up. And they start branding him. They start whipping him. They start doing all this stuff to him. And then it's like, why did you do this to us? And he's like, don't you remember the
The
wishbone?
wishbone.
Yeah, and they're just like,
Did you did you do this like me? Like when he said that, like what am I watching? Like it was a cringy moment, the wishbone line.
it's just kind of like,
Really? You're
yeah,
here for the fucking wishbone?
because of the wishbone, yeah. And then she just takes an axe and kills him, and the movie's over. But the thing that I really didn't like, is like he could have we'd never know how they got there. Where is this? Like, what is this? Like, she's like, oh, I saw them on an ad online. I'm like, what? Like,
Groupon?
yeah, like so they like literally don't use technology. They don't even use electricity. They have candles and stuff like that. But then
Well,
for
how do they
yeah,
promote
that's
their
what I'm saying.
yeah.
They shouldn't even know how to put a newspaper ad out. Like if they're real pilgrims, like they don't know how to do fucking anything. So I wish that they kind of
They
got
know how to
more.
shut corn out. They know how to shut corn.
Yeah,
But
that makes sense.
yeah, like where did they find these pilgrim reenactors? I don't know.
They never explain
Maybe
that.
I think it like the movie is like these are actual reenactors that the wishbone puts them in a trance and they become real pilgrims. That's my take. Fuck if I know.
Nothing makes sense because they at least
Nothing makes sense. Nothing makes sense.
if they were real pilgrims, like if this was an actual curse from the wishbone, they would be like, what is that television? Like, what is that thing? What is the road? What is the like they wouldn't
No,
know
but they
anything.
said they called things what they were. It's like you're always on your phone, you're
Right.
always on your tablet
Yeah.
to the
So they have a
dad. So
concept of what
they're yeah.
it's really weird. So it feels like a cult. That's basically what I get
Yeah.
from it. But anyways, it's not a bad movie. I'm glad I watched it, but it's not great either. It's
It
like
put it put me in the Thanksgiving spirit. I haven't really been in the Thanksgiving spirit, but now I'm like, okay. Now I get to sit with my family on Thanksgiving and hopefully it doesn't go this way.
Yeah. No, it's okay. I would check it out if you're remotely interested. If you want to see a Thanksgiving, slasher movie, definitely go with Thanksgiving first. But if you're
Yes.
like, I'll try something else, this is a
Yeah,
decent
yeah, yeah.
movie.
We'll say this on the Wheel of Horror. Thanksgiving, Eli Roth, Pilgrim, Thanksgiving movies.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a fair ranking for the four we've watched. Um, but before we end, this could be a good social hit, Alec. Underrated, overrated Thanksgiving food. What do you got?
I'm a vegetarian. This is the worst
No,
thing.
but just say like what's an underrated? It could be mashed potato. It could be anything.
Mashed potatoes are my favorite. I think
Word.
cranberries overrated.
Oof, disagree.
It's just sugar in a bowl. Yeah. So there you go.
Okay, okay, it's fine. Mine would be, I think, underrated. Mashed potatoes. I always say people say it's a starch, it's a filler, it's void. You shouldn't be wasting your time on mashed potatoes, but like there's some mashed potatoes. You ever have the ones with like the marshmallows on it?
No.
Bro, don't at me. The underrated though is cranberry. So I'm like literally with you. I think underrated is cranberry because cranberry is the one thing that will lube up the deal. Like you need to have cranberry if you're eating Thanksgiving. It's a lot of dry food. You probably don't have gravy, right?
No.
Yeah,
Gravy's
I
just
know.
like
So
it's like turkey piss and
well,
sweat.
if you're eating Thanksgiving food, it's like it's starch. It's very starchy,
Yeah.
and you need something to lube it up. And the cranberry in the can, mm, underrated. That's my take.
Cranberry sauce, like ocean spray or whatever that stuff is, ocean cram, that stuff.
Guess what I'm making too? Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Ocean spray,
Yeah,
like the
that's just high fructose corn syrup.
oh, you mean
And fake.
the juice or the can?
Like the can of
Yeah,
cranberry,
yeah, yeah. Dude, that's the good stuff, man. What are you talking about?
it tastes good.
You don't
Yeah.
need a ton of it. You need a little slice of it
It
just to
tastes good. It's
lube up the engine, you know?
just
Make
drink
sure
water.
everything's
No, drink water and eat fiber. That's what does it.
can I
Cranberry
tell you
juice does nothing. You might as well drink high C, Eric. Honestly. Like seriously, you might as well just drink some high C.
it's just sugar water.
You're like, oh,
It really
just
it's concentrated sugar water, but it
yeah.
helps the engine
No, it doesn't.
consume. It does. It
No,
does.
you're
It does.
saying it does, but it
If you
doesn't.
have like turkey, dry turkey, not a lot of gravy, a lot of stuffing, all it's just dry. You need the cranberry to lube it up. That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
You need
I mean,
water and greens and fiber, and that will lube up anything you eat. So,
greens. Who has time for greens on
green
Thanksgiving?
bean
No, but
casserole.
one other thing, I'm living in New Jersey now, and since I'm living in New Jersey, I'm gonna try for the first year to make White Castle stuffing. I know that already disgusts you. Are you sick?
I think stuffing the concept of that should make everyone sick. You're stuffing bread up a turkey's asshole and letting it sit in
No,
its
you don't need to
carcass.
do that. You can make stuffing on the side. And I'm
Most people
making White
don't.
Castle stuff. I'm going to White Castle. I'm
Yeah.
buying sliders. I'm gonna mix it in, mash it up, chuck some corn,
Yeah.
and then make stuffing with it.
Okay. Can we just
And then my cousins can go take a walk before Thanksgiving dinner, come back and enjoy Thanksgiving.
can we just admit though the concept of stuffing is pretty gross if you just say what it is? It's pretty gross. You stuff a dead.
Stovetop stuffing's fine. You don't have to stuff it in the turkey.
All
You
right,
don't have to.
let me just say it, and then
All right,
you can
all right, all
interrupt me as
right.
much as you want.
Is
Want
Alec.
to get one sentence out without being interrupted. Well, you're taking bread, you're stuffing it inside of a dead animal's asshole and letting it sit in an oven, absorbing juices that then you scoop out of its carcass and eat it. That's disgusting.
Again, you don't have to make stuffing that way.
But a lot of people do.
A lot of people do. Correct. All
Yes,
right.
like
All right.
more probably often than not.
Okay.
That is disgusting on its face. Like, anyways. All
Anyway,
right.
any final thoughts on Pilgrim? I'm gonna say Thanksgiving.
No, no, no. I think we covered it.
It
Check
was
it out.
okay. It's a movie. It
It's
was
on
good.
Hulu. Only
Puts
Hulu.
you in the spirit, but also keeps the Halloween. You know, if you're from Halloween and going into Thanksgiving, good in between. Good in between movie for
Yeah.
sure.
It's, there'll be a better one day, but for what it is, not too bad. All right. Well, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. And we will be back on Monday with the Addams Family.
I messed up the snap. I'm sorry. I tried.